Hi everyone, this is designed to help you find sources for your research paper. I'm going to just walk you through a few different places that you can find some good reliable sources. So first up, many of you might be looking for some baseline statistics. That's great information to go in an introduction section. An excellent place to find that is the Pew Research Center's website. This is pewresearch.org. If you come up here to topics, you will find that they have, well, a lot of topics, but they have their own race and ethnicity page. For others of you, a page that might work better might be immigration for some of you, or it might be criminal justice for some of you. But you'll find when you come in here to race and ethnicity, they've got lots of information. They've got facts about race. They've got stuff about race and elections. They've got stuff even about race and gaming, which I don't think was any of your papers, but is interesting, about being multiracial, about race and being grandparents. And of course, as always, you can hit search to see if they've got something on your topic. This is a very reliable source in terms of how they're collecting their data and how they're presenting it. So definitely one that I'd recommend. Next up, we have our good friend Google. One of the options that Google gives you is called Google Scholar, which is scholar.google.com. And I really recommend this because it will also search articles. So let's say that I am doing my paper on school desegregation. Instead of just coming up with random newspaper articles and blogs, here's what happens when I go to Google Scholar. Look, all of these are things from the APA. They're things from journals. Some of them are a little older, but a useful thing that Google Scholar also gives you when you're doing research is this cited by button, because then it can let you know what other researchers are looking at this, and you might find some great sources for the rest of your paper. You also have the opportunity, of course, to sort by date or to find things by time if you're doing something that's time sensitive. So it's another really good resource here. The best of the resources, though, that I'm really interested in you guys looking at is the BYU Idaho Library. The library, you might be thinking, oh, well, I don't live anywhere close to the library. It's not going to be useful for my research, but sorry, as I went too far. It actually has a lot of great resources if you are either in Rexburg or coming from distance. So first up, we have books. There are a lot of excellent books out there that we have access to. So say, again, I'm looking at desegregation. Now, I also want to look at schools, so I'm going to write desegregation. I'm going to put and in all caps and schools so that my results cover both of those. Anytime you want a more specific topic, put that and in all caps next to your term. And then we hit search. And I'm finding, hey, there's 64 titles. That's pretty good. I'm scrolling through, seeing if I think anything might look really good because I'm interested in long-term outcomes. And I think, oh, well, integrating schools in a changing society looks really promising. So I'm going to click here. One thing you can also do if you find a book that looks great is then you can click on the subjects and it will show you any other book that they have in their holdings with that subject, which is awesome and I definitely recommend. You can also, and once you've found that book that you are interested in reading, here we can click for online access. And it says, your institution has unlimited access to this book. It's available for online reading or a 14-day full download. So this is a great option. It means that no matter where you live, you have access to a lot of scholarly books, which is great, and I definitely recommend taking advantage of that. All right, our next thing, in addition to books that we're going to be interested in, is articles. Journal articles are great because a lot of times they're on a more narrow topic than a book. They also might be more updated than a book. So let's take a look here at articles and news. You can search things by subject. The library does have a place where you can go just for sociology, which is wonderful. And so here's our library's research guide for sociology. So I'm looking for journal articles, but also if you're looking for evaluating information, web resources, books, it gives you all of that too. I'm looking for journal articles, and it's going to tell me which databases are the best bet. My personal favorite is this one, ProQuest. JSTOR also is good, but they tend to not have the most recent like 5 years of journal articles, so maybe better if you're doing history. Academic Search Premier and Wiley are also really good. I just like ProQuest. Here is what ProQuest is going to look like. So it starts out, and this is just its basic search. And so again, I'm looking at desegregation, and I'm also looking at long-term outcomes. That's what I'm most interested in for my paper. So I'm going to hit search, and it shows me all of these great resources: long-run impacts of school desegregation, school quality, um, perpetuation theory and the long-term effects of school desegregation. It has a lot of great narrowing options that I love. If I only want to look at things from the last 6 years, I can change the date right here. If I only want to look at peer-reviewed articles, which I think is a good recommendation, you can hit peer-reviewed right here. I am okay with you guys looking at the dissertations and thesis thing. Just keep in mind it's someone done by a student, and it hasn't had to go through the long-term peer review process where other professors and scholars look at it and make sure that it's been done well, but it has at least gone through its college's process. So it's still more reliable than just a random web page that you find. And if you're interested then, in newspapers or magazines, you can find those here as well. You may also have two questions. One is, what if my topic is really current and not much has been published yet in a book or a journal article? I am sympathetic to that. That is hard. What I would suggest you look at then are books and journal articles that cover the same larger theme. So maybe you're talking about the Black Lives Matter movement and you're worried that not much has been published about it yet. You may want to look at racial equality or race and police and find sources on that. And then your other concern might be, well, what if my topic is really pretty narrow or unusual? In that case, again, you're going to want to look for those general themes. So maybe you have something where there's only like 2 or 3 articles about it, but there will be things on larger concepts. And also when you find those 2 or 3 articles, look at their works cited page. That can be a great way to find more resources that you can look at. So as an example here, this is an article, say this was the perfect one for me, and it was the only one I was finding that really was studying what I was looking at. I'm going to go all the way down here to this very last set of pages, and I'm going to look at their references, and maybe by looking at their references, I'll be able to find some more things. All right, I hope this helps. If you're having a really hard time, please contact me and I'd love to help you find some resources. Thanks.